Hello all. I hope you've had a good day. I work today. Yeah. What can I say? What can I say? I am who I am. I know what I know. I move how I move. It fluffers a lot of fluffers. If you get fluffered, well, sorry. I don't mean to fluffer you. I really don't. The concepts of the working world is just such an interesting concept for me. It really is. I had so many conversations today, and it's well established it takes money for the world to turn. That was said. I'm well aware of that. But you know what? Here's the thing with that. This is what I say. The world takes money for it to turn, yes, but it doesn't mean you have to allow it to control your world, consume your world, consume your desires, consume your plans, consume how you move in the world. I feel like when you get to a place when you just always just chase after money and you chase after power and you chase after fame and fortune, you're chasing the wrong things. And then once you start chasing the wrong things, you lose sight of your true path. You lose sight of the spiritual spirit that lies within you. Your spirit, meaning what makes you happy, what makes you laugh, what makes you giggle, what gives you a little pep in your step, and there's a particular verse that I want to touch on. Commit to the Lord in whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. For the Lord works out everything to its proper end, even the wicked for a day of disaster, right? And that is what? Proverbs 16:3-4. Commit to the Lord in whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. The Lord works out everything to its proper end, even the wicked for the day of the disaster. There's always wicked of a day. There's always going to be disaster in a day that surrounds us. It surrounds us, right? Only if you allow it. But if you recognize that everything in your world, in your day, whether it's the wicked for a day or the blessings for the day, it's still moving for your betterment. To me, there's no, in a day of disaster, there's still no wicked. Because why? Because everything that happens in a day is all divinely orchestrated by God to establish the plans that he holds for you. And whatever you do, he will establish your plans if you walk by faith in knowing that. Truly walk by faith. See, the thing is there's a lot of misconstrued use, I believe, when it comes to Bible verses, the meaning behind Bible verses, and how people take it and spin it, right? Like, for example, commit to the Lord. Someone might claim, I prayed about this, so it must be God's will, even if their actions are rooted in greed, power, and harm to others. Right? I prayed about this. Commit to the Lord. Reality. Commitment to God isn't about using his name to validate personal gains. It's about aligning your desires with God's character. What is God's character? Love, humility, and service to others. So in whatever you're doing in your day, if you don't have love, humility, and service to others at the forefront, you're never going to be truly at one with yourself and be truly at peace. You're just not. You're not, because you're allowing all the other exterior things to dictate your ways, even though you want to say you commit to the Lord. There's a difference. Misreading, he will establish your plans. Interpreting that as a blank check, believing that any plan you will succeed if you dictate or dedicate it to God verbally. Reality. God establishes plans that are in harmony with his will. His will be done. His will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And purposes, not plans rooted in manipulation, ego, and selfish ambition. Selfish ambition is such a big deal. It's such a big deal. And that's just not something I run on. Justifying harm with proper end, misuse of using the wicked for the day of the disaster, to demonize others or to excuse unethical actions under the guise of the divine retribution. The phrase is about the divine justice, not human justification for vengeance or harm. Only God determines and outcomes fairly and righteously. That's why you don't take justice in your own hands. You don't play God in people's lives. You don't do all this crazy stuff. golly, it's just crazy the amount of stuff that people do around me and think that it's like just normal behavior. It's just bizarre to me. It really is. Basically, the reminder is to always surrender and trust. I walk by full surrendering and trust that whatever my future is in store, God's got that. He will place me where He wants me to be. He wants me to be in this job right now. All right, cool. I'll be here for a little while. Right? But I will not, like that. I've had this conversation with a coworker. Like, when it comes to like misuse or manipulation or taking advantage of, I'll walk in a heartbeat. You know, and it's just one of those things. You have to get to a place in your life where you get to that inner knowing within yourself, what you will tolerate and what you won't tolerate, you know. And for me, I won't tolerate people just taking advantage of me. I just won't. Even though taking advantage of me surrounds me, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't even affect me. Like, I find it comical, the only job that they would so graciously give me out of the tons that I've applied for and interviewed for and been well qualified for, right? The only one that they gave me is all wrapped up in insurance. Isn't that funny? But man, am I learning a lot, I'll tell you that. You know, it came to me. When you get to a place in your life where determination is all you have to offer yourself in life, I feel like that's the true win. When you get to a place in life where all you do is move with determination. Determination to just keep pressing forward, get up every day, be the best version of yourself, treat others the way that you want to be treated, treat people kindly, do not judge people, and just love unconditionally, not only others, but yourself. You have to unconditionally love yourself. You have to start there. Until you unconditionally love yourself, you're going to find something wrong with every single body. Every single body. That's all it is. It's projections. That's all it is. It's straight projections. And see, when you get to a place of recognizing that, that's a really easy way to stop caring what people think, because you realize, well, they're just projecting onto me. They're just projecting, and it's sad. It's sad. You feel bad for them, right? Like, you just do. And it's one of those things. I'm so determined. I just walk with determination every day. I'm just so fiery. I got so much ambition when it comes to just doing right by myself and doing right by my son and doing right by the people I surround myself with that are lucky enough to be in my presence. You know? Everybody should be at a place where they feel like they have something to offer, because everybody does have something to offer. And so because you have something to offer, people are lucky to be in your presence. Everybody deserves to feel that way. I don't know why we live in such a world where people just want to step on people so bad and get so entangled in people's lives. You know, I understand the mechanics in reference to my ex and how much he's been used against me. And I know there's things there, you know. I know there's a lot of things in people's hearts right now that they're really holding because they feel really bad, because they know what they did. You know, I know that. I know, I feel it. I do. You know, and all I can say is this, I mean, if it makes you feel better, I've forgiven you. I totally have. But I don't know. You have to figure out between your walk with God and the divine source, the Most High, like what it's going to take for you to clear that off your conscience. Like, true accountability is what it takes to walk with a clear conscience. I believe so. So you go and you have a conversation with, you know, say whoever, and you're like, hey, I'm sorry. I did wrong, or this and that, right? I mean, to me, I feel like that's true accountability. A lot of people don't want to do that, though, and that's okay. When projections don't affect you, it's easy to forgive. I mean, it really is. And when what people project onto me, I forgive them, because I know who I am. I know who I am now, and I know who I was before, and I have nothing to defend. Absolutely nothing to defend. And so God's my defender, and He holds that. You know, and I know that a lot of people have a lot to say, but nobody comes to my face.